Welcome back.
Hello.
We are now in, what did we call it? I screwed up already. What did we call it? Dad's Den? Or
Dad's
Zen,
Den.
Zen Den? The
Zen
Zen
Den, yeah,
Den?
Dad's Zen Zone.
I do feel pretty
Zen
calm.
Den. All right, well, welcome back to Fostering Communication. We got Mr. Nick with us today. Nick, I'm not going to butcher it.
All right.
Pronounce the last name.
You want to try it?
I'm going to lip it as you say it, so it looks like...
Groenewold.
There.
Yeah. Perfect. Got it.
My issue with it is I always think of Griswold.
Yeah.
How
yeah.
often do you get that?
Telemarketers, people who can't pronounce it.
Yeah,
so, Griswold.
yeah, pretty standard.
I kind of prefer it though. It's
Yeah.
easier.
It's
to
easier
spell.
to go with. Yeah. All right, awesome. Well, dude, thank you for being on.
Yep.
I know, sorry, so you've been here for how long now?
I believe a year and a half.
You were CDU 6? 5?
I don't know. No,
You don't know what class were you
it was
were?
after Liz's, I believe.
Okay, awesome. And you came from a very different industry, right? So why don't you do us a favor? Tell us background, where you came from, what you were doing, and then why in the world you got into the trades.
Well, I guess it all started 11:49 a.m. December 2nd, 1994. I was born. But yeah,
So now we've got his birthday and his name pronunciation. We're
I'll tell you my social
halfway
later. Yeah. Well, you probably have it.
I was gonna say, don't worry, we've got that. No, I'm joking.
So as far as work, I remember growing up as a kid, kind of hanging out with my grandpa. He'd build birdhouses,
Yeah,
sold them at craft fairs, all that stuff. So that's kind of the earliest memory.
was it a hobby or a job? Like he built them for a living, or it was
Yeah.
more like his hobby and he would go sell at fairs?
I think it started a hobby, but it
Yeah.
was,
Full
25
on.
years.
Birdhouse building business.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that got me into the hands-on kind of stuff, and then going over to my dad's house for the weekend, we would cook. And my dad was in the restaurant industry for his whole life until he got into sales and kind of moved up.
Yeah,
So kind of came from a cooking background, spent about 12, 13 years in the restaurant industry.
yeah,
In between that, I would also work on motorcycles because I started riding motorcycles, working on cars and stuff like that. And then on the side also, between restaurants, because I would get out of the restaurant industry for a bit, go do some construction, some gutters, siding, whatever in Minnesota when the weather was nice, and then in the winter kind of go back to
go
the
back
kitchen.
to the restaurant. Yeah.
And then
Did a lot of people in the restaurant industry do that? Where when it got nice up there, they would
yes
cycle
and
out?
no.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have those diehards that, eventually I just stayed in the restaurant
Yeah.
because it was more of a hassle to go find a job, apply, do all
Yeah.
that. So
Because I've heard a lot of people like bounce in and out of
Yeah.
F&B or food and beverage,
yeah,
just because it seems like the nature of the industry. But I've never heard anybody like relate that to weather. And it seemed like you were
Yeah.
like, man, it's nice out. I want to get outside.
Well,
I don't
I
feel
mean,
like being in a kitchen.
growing up in Minnesota, I mean, when it's nice out, you should be outside,
Yeah,
enjoy it
yeah.
while it's here because you only get 4 months of nice weather
4
out there.
days. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I like to be outside as much as I can, and that evolved into this. Did truck driving for a little bit, and I couldn't take that. I was outside, but I'm not. I mean, I'm sitting there doing
Yeah.
nothing.
This is like full 18-wheeler truck
Yeah.
driver? No
Yeah.
kidding. I
So
didn't
it
know
was over the road. I was kind of a regional. So I
Yeah.
ran Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska, Illinois, and Wisconsin.
that. Yeah.
That was kind of like my territory.
Yeah.
So I was 5 days on the road. I'd spend 2 days home, back on the road.
Yeah.
I liked it, but sitting in traffic, and again, it's kind of an unhealthy industry.
Yeah.
You're not moving, very stagnant.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we moved to North Carolina December. That was at 24.
How'd you pick North Carolina? How'd that come about?
So I guess, yeah, here's a long story. Grew up in Minnesota.
Yeah.
When I was 20 years old, I moved out to Southern California. Slowly, all my friends started moving out. I was the last one in Minnesota, so I figure, hey, kind of follow your friends.
Yeah.
Working in the restaurant industry, I was cooking, and I met this beautiful young lady. She was a server. long story short, she's, I guess, my fiance now.
Yeah.
I just got
Congratulations.
engaged.
When did that happen?
I went up to Ohio
Oh,
last week, so.
Okay. Awesome.
So
that's
yes.
that's a week old?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't
man.
even have a ring yet.
Congratulations.
She's got to get me a ring.
An engagement ring for
Well,
you?
I don't know how that works.
What?
This is my
You
first
know how
time
that
doing
works.
it, you know? I don't know how you're supposed to do it. She got a ring.
Hopefully
though.
your only time too.
Yeah, that's the goal. I mean, she's a good one.
Maybe next time I'll get the engagement ring.
Yeah, do it right.
No, that's awesome though. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I got to meet her at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, the
during
Raleigh.
the tech. What was the name of that? The
Is that apprenticeship
ship
contest.
apprentice
Battle.
off. I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever they call that, but yeah. Okay.
Um,
Which you came in
second.
Second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Top finisher, right, for Call Dad.
Yeah, and I don't think the first place guy was actually an apprentice.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
I agree with you.
Say,
Yeah. There's
first
always
and a
the
half.
issue.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so I met Ari, and we moved back to Minnesota because that's when the pandemic stuff started happening.
Yeah.
Lost my job, ended up living in my pickup truck for a while. So I was kind of living on the streets out in California. And she's originally from Hawaii
Yeah.
and California. She lived there, so bringing a Hawaiian, I guess you could say, to Minnesota didn't go over very well.
To the freezer.
Yeah. Once it hit like 20 below, she's like, I don't like
Yeah.
this at all.
Yeah.
So from there, she has family up in Virginia. And then the year before we moved, I rode my bike down to Asheville.
Yeah.
Little family trip. And I liked it. It was kind of Midwest, but also kind of California with not consistent weather, but
Yeah.
a mellow climate.
Yeah.
And we just saw Charlotte. I said, okay, big city, a lot of jobs, opportunities. So pick Charlotte.
Check it out.
Yeah. And we just found a place on Zillow, got accepted, and just moved there.
Yeah.
Didn't even look at the house, nothing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's not too dissimilar to how I ended up in Charlotte. Not like the background of it, but
Yeah.
like sight unseen.
it's exciting.
You know, my brother, there was only like 4 apartment buildings back then, and my brother had lived in it. And I was like, well, I guess that's okay. Like, so I
Yeah.
just booked that, like actually signed a lease for a property that I had never seen and had no clue what it was like, and
How'd that
backed
turn
up
out?
and moved. Well, I'm just built a business here, so
Yeah.
I think it turned out okay. But
Yeah, I guess so.
it was right next to Panther Stadium, so you could actually see down into Panther Stadium. But
Okay.
like I said, it was a different world because there was only a handful of apartment buildings. Now it's like you can't throw a rock and not hit multiple apartment buildings. So I can't imagine doing that
Well,
now.
what
but
year
back
did
then,
you move?
It was 2010, early 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was
That's
like still,
long.
Charlotte was still reeling from the financial crisis because all the big banks were here, all that type of stuff. So it was a very different city back then.
Yep. Yeah, it has definitely grown. Even from when we got down here, it seems like it's kind of blown up a
Yeah.
little bit.
Oh yeah. All of the Southeast is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's pretty cool how you ended up.
Yeah, and then I guess getting into the trades, it was just I had the hospitality stuff going on. Being in the restaurant industry, doing serving and really everything, and then being kind of a mechanic on the side, just more of a hobby.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good mix. Pretty easy choice.
All right. So you specifically knew that you wanted to get into the trades?
Trades for sure. It just felt like more of a place I belong, that I would thrive in versus, more suit and tie kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just doesn't feel as comfortable.
Yeah. What made you decide, like, I'm done with F&B?
I think, after being in it for, let's say, 12 years, I didn't see as much room for growth. Growth as far as, like, providing for a family and progression, really.
Yeah.
I mean, because once you get to a sous chef or a chef, I mean, that's kind of it, unless you want to open a restaurant, be like a Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
You're kind of limited. So trade work, I know there's so much of it. There's just much more opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's not that the quality of life and F&B is bad, or you're not still at the demand of customers like you are here, but it is a different quality. Like,
yeah, you're working. I mean, you work long hours in the trades.
Yeah.
They're more rewarding, I think. Going to a house, kind of fixing any issue. You're talking directly to the customer most of the time, and they're thankful for it. Whereas food, the food industry, you're just cooking behind a wall. You can't really communicate with the
it's
customer.
funny you say that. I guess I've thought about that before, but it's that aspect of like, you're in service, but you never get to experience the results of what you're serving. So like every now and then somebody would say the compliments to the chef, but
but what does that mean?
Yeah. And it's not like they come back and pass it to everybody in the kitchen either, probably, right? So you never, I guess, get to see the fruit of your labor in terms of experiencing people's joy with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Versus here, like.
Yeah, you're talking to them, and they're telling you. I mean, it is different because obviously, more often than not, when we go to houses, there's some sort of issue that needs to be resolved. And when they tell you that and they're frustrated with it, and you actually fix that problem, it's just a smile on their face. Their kids are happy. It feels good.
Yeah. How'd you find Dad U?
So the original plan was move down here, and I still got my Class A. So I was going to get into a truck and start driving and just go back to that. But there was something going on with my license. So I went, okay, well, we're not doing that. And actually back in Minnesota growing up, we had I had a mentor. He owned a motorcycle shop, and I always wanted to open a bike shop and work on motor because I loved it.
Yeah.
And he had told me time and time again, don't open a motorcycle shop, get into heating and air.
Yeah.
Always said it.
Where did that, like, he knew somebody in the industry, or was just his perspective over? His
perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
you don't
always
want to mess around
work.
with motorcycles all.
Yeah, it's fun. Maybe I'd do it when I'm older, but as far as like growth, it's a good way to provide for your family. So took his word on that, and I think I went on Indeed, typed in HVAC apprenticeship or something, and yours came up. I went, okay, cool. Went through the interview process, and here we are.
Yeah, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Was there apprehension when you were getting into it, or you were just like, you know what, that because I've heard before it's a good industry, it seems like they're going to teach me, let's do it?
Yeah, well, what I was looking for is a lot of jobs I would see was like, oh, you need a year experience, or, all this experience. So when I saw your ad, it was like, hey, we'll train you and teach you to do
Zero
this stuff.
experience. We want no experience.
Yeah, we want you to know nothing. And
the less you know, the better.
Yeah. And, that's cool because there's not a lot of industries out there that are willing, that I've seen, to, take somebody in and say, hey, we're going to walk you through this, train you from the ground up.
Yeah.
So really no apprehension. I said, like, there's an opportunity, took it, and now the rest is history.
All right, so day one.
At Call Dad. So
were you nervous? Were you excited? Were you regretting your decision? What was day one like for you?
I think I'd say day one starts with the interviews.
Yeah.
Because I think I was nervous for the interviews because the first one, it was with the service manager at the time.
Yeah.
And then I think Matt Stewart was the second. Or maybe it's
did you go to Derek? You went from...
Oh, yeah, Derek was second.
Probably Derek,
then
right?
Stewart,
And then Stewart, yeah.
That's when I started, like, thinking, oh, man, like, this is a lot. This is, like, very big. And then I still remember Matt Stewart saying, attics aren't cold. You're going to be hot, sweaty, nasty, like bugs, all that. And for a split second, I was like, okay, maybe. But I was like, nah, I need to go for something.
Yeah. What was it that gave you the maybe? The temperature or the bugs?
Well, I think it was just the whole deal of, like, I didn't realize there were going to be so many interviews and, like,
Yeah.
So it was just that hesitation.
It's funny because we've gotten that feedback from a few, like, quote-unquote recruiting experts that our interview process is too onerous and too long. Like, we should do the opposite, where we just, like, hire a bunch of people quick and then weed them out through the program. But it's like, I still firmly believe that drawing it out making you go through those ups and downs of deciding whether it's something you actually want to do. Like, I think there's so much more benefit in that. Just even by what you just said there, of like having that moment to really think through, so that day one when you're sitting there, you're like, okay, yeah, I thought through this. I know I want to be here, type thing.
And I don't think you should change it because it does make you process it more.
Yeah.
But I don't regret it so far.
All right. So what was the toughest problem or toughest situation, not specifically, but more generality, that you went through in kind of the first classroom stint? Were there any parts during the class where you were like, again,
frustrating?
Yeah. Regretting it?
I don't think.
Man, I didn't want to go back to school. Why am I doing this?
I was actually excited. To get back into like a kind of a classroom setting.
Yeah.
I didn't do the hottest in school, but it was more of a way for me to prove to myself, like, hey, if I buckle down, I can do anything.
Yeah.
Not worried about it. The most frustrating part was trying to figure out how to use a laptop.
Yeah.
I am not tech savvy. I can fix systems, all that, control boards, whatever, but it comes to like opening emails.
Yeah.
Forget about it, man. I'm lost.
All right, so we need to add email.
Yeah, if you have a class on like working emails, like, I'd take that in a heartbeat.
Do you have email on your phone?
I do, but it's like it's already logged in. You
Yeah.
know, these things, they recognize your face, so it's
so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Maybe it's memory, password memory, something like that.
Out of all the things that I thought you were going to say was the most frustrating of level 1, I did not expect. Email was not on my bingo board.
Yeah.
It was not on my bingo board.
Yeah, it's definitely
I failed on that. But that's pretty cool. I mean, like, if you sit back and look at it, like, that's a good negative aspect. I was like you, probably, in the sense of it took me finding something that I was driving towards, or something that I wanted to accomplish, to be good in school. Otherwise, like, I mean, elementary, middle school, I didn't give a crap about school. Like, it was hard. Not because I didn't like it, or it was just like, I don't understand why I'm doing that. Like, why am I doing this? What is the purpose of that? Like, why do I need to learn cursive? Because I know that I'm not going to use cursive.
Yeah.
So it was like I had that kind of rage against the machine mentality until it was like, then I found accounting and wanted to go, and then I was like, all right, I know that I need school to do this. So I was like, with purpose, I became a good student. And it sounds like you had that, like, hey, I want to achieve the trade. I want to prove to myself that I can actually be a good student.
Yeah.
And from what I recall, you did well on all your everything you did well.
Still
right?
here?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that doesn't say anything, but
yeah.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, well, it is having that path. Like, okay, I can do good. I just kind of need a reason to do good.
Yeah.
Well, in work.
Yeah. If you could go back now, other than email, and tell, that level 1 Nick some piece of advice, what would it be?
Ask more questions. I was asking a lot of questions, but I think, again, for that why, just keep getting deeper into those questions.
So, like, do you mean that in the sense of you were asking the wrong question, or like just not enough in general?
Not enough. I was asking a lot, but I think, if I could think of anything, just always ask questions, because I'm always that motorcycle mechanic I was hanging out with. I was that guy leaning over his shoulder saying, like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
So doing more of that, whether or not whoever's teaching you likes you doing that, know, which Katie's great, but ask more questions. And I was the one who's jumping ahead a little bit, to the next lesson.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Like, so maybe just slow down and retain it, take it all in.
Like, you were too excited to move on to the next topic.
Yeah. I would understand something. Okay, like, let's move on. Like, let's speed up. But really, just stay present in it.
Yeah. So So if I had to understand that better, it would be ask more questions and spend more time understanding the answer to those questions on the topic you're on.
Yeah.
As opposed to taking the superficial or the top level knowledge and saying I'm good and moving on.
Yeah, don't put the cart in front of the horse.
There you go.
Whatever that saying is.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. I like that. All right. Is there anything when you transitioned to the field that was like absolutely shocking? Like, holy crap, I didn't anticipate this, or I wish they taught me this during level 1.
I would say just the reality of it, because you hear stories, horror stories in class of, these crawl spaces are full of cockroaches and the things that go bump in the night.
Yeah.
You're like, it's fine. You see pictures, but once you actually open a crawl space door or go up into an attic that's actually 130 degrees, it kind of wakes you up a little bit. You're like, okay.
What are you saying? Just get mentally ready because there's nothing you can do to prepare? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, expect the unexpected. What's the craziest crawl space or attic thing that you've seen?
As far as crazy, I just think it's the environment that you're in. So like crawl spaces that, 1.5 foot tall kind of crawl spaces where your face is rubbing against the ground, and I think that would be the craziest. Really bats in the attic, but not a lot of crazy, no bodies.
I had bats in my house once. I had to get rabies shots. That was
Did you get bit?
No.
Oh, you just got a rabies shot?
It's a long story. My wife is a little bit of a hypochondriac.
Okay.
And they caught one of the bats, but they tested it, and it came back as inconclusive, and there was a positive confirmed case of rabies in Charleston County.
Okay.
So our whole family had to get rabies shots.
Sheesh. Don't those hurt? Because I remember I got a tetanus shot, like the full dose.
Yeah. They were like the first, so you have to get 4 rounds, and the first one I got 5 shots. Yeah, and the syringes were like, it was insane.
Not a needle guy.
Yeah. So don't tell anybody that you saw bats.
Okay, that never happened.
Edit that part out. No bats. Because my wife's gonna be calling me and be like, "Did you make sure that Nick got his rabies shots?"
I'm sure I did when I was a kid. A little baby. Don't they give you all the things you need?
Yeah.
It's just,
my probably freakiest time, there was this, so this used to have some doggy daycares, and I was driving, so late night, I had meetings in Charlotte, had to drive back to Charleston. I got a call that one of the units had gone down during the day. On the way back, I stopped at the facility, and this is like old school Charleston, which kind of happens in some of the houses in some of these other markets, but it's like very old historical type buildings. And there was this attic access, which was just precarious to say the least, how you got into it. And there's dogs barking, going crazy, and it's like that eerie kind of haunted feeling because there's nobody in the building. There's dogs like off barking in distance, and then this attic goes through different, like there was renovations on this over decades. So like you had to crawl over a roof into another attic slot, and it was like, and then you're sitting there, and I'm like clearing the drain line, and I would turn off like the vacuum every now and then, and like, you're like looking around like, is there some? And it's like, I don't know why, but that always sticks in my head of like one of those weird, like, it felt like there should have been a bat in that. Like there should have been something like cruising around, and there wasn't. So I just like every few minutes, like I think I would have been better off if I saw a bat.
At least
because then I would have been like, there it is. Okay, now I know. But I didn't see anything, and it was like that ominous feeling.
Well, that I guess creepy things in the field is similar situation. Old house, you're going there at night and you got to get into the crawl space, and your headlight dies in the crawl space. You're in the furthest location from the door, and now you got to get your phone light, but your phone's dead for some reason, and it starts going downhill pretty quick.
It starts spiraling.
You start crawling as fast as you can to get out of there. I've done
your
that.
eyes can't adjust quick enough.
Hit your head on a pipe. So I guess get ready for that.
Yeah. So be prepared for the unexpected is probably the best way to
Make sure your
describe it.
headlamp batteries are charged, properly. I'd say is a good one.
All right. Give us a quick synopsis of day in the life. Like, what's it like to be a tech just in a normal day?
Well, I guess wake up, do your thing. You got your first call on the board. I like to try and reach out to anybody to see if I have parts calls, anything I need to pick up. Talk to the customer, and I think a lot of it is relations with the customers. I like to try and spend a little more time with the customer than not, I suppose.
Yeah.
So really just working with them, figuring out the system. And it varies day to day. Some days you have super busy days where, say you got 6, 7, 8 calls on the board. I still try and just slow down, do one call at a time, because at the end of the day, that's all I can do. And then it can vary from a 3-hour day to a 13-hour day. It's pretty unpredictable, but that's what I like about it,
Is there anything preparation-wise that you've done for that kind of unpredictability of the day?
Make sure my van's clean, my tools are organized, batteries charged.
Yeah.
Really just, headlamps for sure.
Yeah.
Have extra batteries
Extra
on hand.
batteries. And have them with you?
Yes, in your pocket. So making sure you have everything you need for the day, no matter what it throws at you, because you could have a very mellow day, but it's heating and air, so you could be stuck in a crawl space.
What's been your biggest mistake or biggest screw up
in the field?
Yeah.
Well, forgetting how.
We are recording this, by the way, so we will talking about that. No, I'm joking.
No, I mean,
that's serious. Like, what is something that you're like, man, I screwed up, but you know what? I'm glad I did because I learned from it, or help move it forward, or it was like, wow, they really got my back. Whatever the story is, it doesn't matter.
I think anything I misdiagnose, I'm pretty rough on myself, so if I do misdiagnose something, I do feel bad about it because, we had to go through that situation, and then now we have to come back and try and address it again. So anytime I can't address a situation, I think that's more of a mistake on my end.
Yeah.
As far as, like, say I don't have the right tooling, or, maybe part stores are closed. I guess not necessarily a mistake, but...
so, like, you feel... It sounds like you're, like, trying to describe the pressure of not being prepared.
Yeah, a little bit, I guess, So, not being prepared, but not having an excuse for it, like...
Not having a bat net.
Yeah. That headlamp. I mean, there's a couple things, you do something to the best of your ability, but it kind of goes like knowing what I know now.
Yeah.
Right? Like back then, I look at some of my old calls, and I even go to some of my old calls, and I look at the notes and photos, and I'm like, man, I'm glad I'm, doing better.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying the old me was a mistake, but,
I mean, for me, it sounds like you're hard on yourself.
A little bit. Yeah.
But I hate to say it, to get good and to want to progress and want to do better and want to grow, not only in your career but in your life, like, you almost have to take a little bit of a, critic's mentality, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And you're, at the end of the day, your own worst critic.
Yeah.
So I think it has helped me. It's never really knocked me down or anything, but it drives me, seeing the old me and comparing myself to myself.
Yeah.
And
how are you, being your own worst critic, how are you taking feedback from others? Is that hard for you?
I encourage it.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, if they go to a call I was at and there's an issue with what I did, call me, text me. Like, I want to know about it. I want to know. Yeah. So that way I can grow. And if somebody else does the same thing, I can let them know, like, hey, I ran across this situation.
Yeah.
This is what I learned from it.
Yeah. That was always, it was funny. I remember when I was young, it was 100% ego driven, right? Mm-hmm. But it was a tough thing to hear criticism. because of 100% because of ego.
Yeah.
Right. But it was like when I made that realization that nobody will be a bigger critic of me than me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm my big, when I look in the mirror in the morning, it's like I'm giving myself every single piece of criticism, to be better that day.
Yeah.
Right. So once I realized that I'm my own biggest critic and that's okay, I became maybe more accepting of other people's criticism because it's like, it's just acknowledging the fact that like I'm on top of this. Like, so let me have it. Like, give it to me. I want to get better.
Yep.
And so many people buck, especially young people. I'm not saying specifically call dad you people, but, coming out of classroom or coming out of textbook, think maybe a little more than you do and, not open to criticism.
Yeah.
And again, it's not like you don't have to actively look for things to criticize, but it's like what you just described is you're going back and you're looking at notes of things that you've done previously and you're saying, all right, with what I know now, I would have done this different, and this different.
Yeah.
And then you're opening the door to other people to say, hey, provide me feedback. And that's pretty cool. That takes a different level of maturity. So kudos to you for being willing to do that because a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah. And I mean, I've learned my lessons in life as far as, kind of keeping your ego in check, but make sure you still have one.
Yes.
Right. It is a balance because
ego can be good.
Yeah, if used properly, for sure.
Exactly.
It's a very delicate object. But I think that would be another big thing to let anybody in the field or going through this program know is kind of stay humble. You come out of class, you're like, I got it. I'll run every call on the board.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that drive, but also know what you know and just absorb it and just be there.
Yeah.
Take it slow.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts? Anything you want to end with or that we didn't talk about that you want to talk about?
Well, I was actually going to ask you a question.
Oh, no. This is one-way question street.
All right.
No, I'm joking. Go ahead. Hit me.
Yes, sir. So I guess how did you end up in the heating and air industry?
Oh,
a little
Lord.
curveball here.
Oh, Lord.
Pressure's
There's
on.
a fun little radio commercial about this.
Really?
The origin story. Yeah. So I'll try and say this as short as I can because this story can go very long.
Yeah.
So I'll try and do it very short. Okay. In 2014. No. So funny, you talked about your grandfather. Like my grandfather was a woodworker. Now this is on the side, so it was a hobby. Mm-hmm. So he had like a big woodworking shop. He was a band director. He was military man, band director, so like marching band type thing. Very strict, very regimented. And he had a woodworking shop. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize this actually until I tried to name my son after him. So this is recently. But apparently nobody liked the guy. The guy was like a straight up a-hole and very difficult to deal with. Mm-hmm. And every person that he ever invited in his woodworking shop got kicked out immediately, except for me. Because I just went in there and I listened to what he said. He was like, don't touch this. I was like, okay, I won't touch that. Yeah. And he's like, do it this way. And I was like, okay, great, I'll do it that way. Yeah. And I just, as a very young kid, took to what he was teaching me. So from a young age, got very used to working with tools and hands-on. And then my dad also was very hands-on. So, we finished every basement and every house that we ever lived in together, my dad and I. So I knew electrical, I knew plumbing, I knew carpentry, kind of general basics, right? Cool. But then first home I owned, I knew nothing about HVAC, and the HVAC went down. Yeah. So it was a very quick learning lesson for me. The story that kind of goes in the radio ad, which is absolutely true, is the first company we called, unbelievably responsive, showed up. The joke that I tell is they were in the driveway when I called. They were like, we got a tech in your driveway already. Yeah. But insanely pushy and dismissive when they were in the house. Wouldn't answer any questions, wouldn't give any feedback. Mm-hmm. The second company, complete opposite, impossible to get a hold of.
Just found that middle
ground. But when they finally showed up, unbelievably genuine, took me in the crawl space, took me in the attic, taught me, the general basics. And that was my aha moment of like, there's got to be a way to bridge the gap between these two. So I started researching the industry and just started calling everybody I knew, like, hey, is there any HVAC business for sale, that sort of thing. Yeah. So it was like that spark of a terrible customer experience with a huge curiosity that led to me getting into trades. I did it in 2 minutes. That's got to be a record. I'm not sure it's my best version, but
no, I've heard the ad. I was just kind of curious and how you got even interested in it and all that stuff. So no, it is cool, and I take that, and when I have customers, I'm like, hey, do you want to come up into the attic with me? Like it's a good learning environment. I mean, not only in the office, but to be able to spread that to people, that's that reward.
Yeah. So I think that was part of like seeing the excitement of the second company's tech that was like, oh, you want to learn this? Like, yeah, come on, man. It was like it was almost that excitement that probably led me down the path. And it's funny, I literally just found a few weeks ago when we were moving. So obviously this is new. We talked about that, right? But when we were moving over here, I found that service ticket.
Oh, no way.
From that company.
Dang.
And we were joking about this. It's like, wonder if that first company was great. Like, do you think I ever would have gotten in the HVAC industry? It was like when that question was posed to me, it was like, I don't know. That's a really good question. But yeah, once you step into this industry, I don't know if it's this way for you, but it is for me and other people I talk to, but it kind of drags you in. Like, there's something about it that's just a little bit addictive, and the customer service mixed with like the mechanical aspect of it, it's like you've kind of satisfying both ends of it. Is pretty cool.
Yeah, so. It's a good mix, and again, it doesn't, like, you can't really cap out.
Yeah.
There's always more learn, new equipment coming out, new positions. I mean, it's endless, and that's a good rabbit hole to be in.
Yeah. Yeah. So. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry about that. Do you mind? Can you grab that for me?
Hey, Pozda.
Yes?
We have a customer right now. Their unit just blew up. We got no guys available.
Okay.
We need somebody.
It's dispatch.
Oh.
Hey, Nick. Yeah, you're one of the best guys in the biz.
Yeah, for sure. Right away.
Like, right now?
I gotta go.
Oh.
It's nice talking to you.
Hey, good seeing you. Thanks for joining.
See you later.
Well, we're on the way, because that's what Dad would say.